Hello everybody on the Schwans27 channel, it's your Lord and Savior Vince Zampella here to talk to you about our latest update to our game called Postcards from the Frontier, which is an archaic way to show off to other people that you're having a good time, although we probably should have called this update Forget About PvP Now, PvE is where it's at. There is one new map for this DLC for the live fire game mode that we're still trying to get people to play and is about as opposite of Titanfall as I could think of, being that it's a round-based, no respawn affair. Anyways, it's called Uma, which is the most generic-looking map, given one of the most unique names, as the only Uma that I know is from all those Quentin Tarantino movies that everyone loves, but I find boring as fuck. As I mentioned earlier, though, we are putting in three vanilla maps into Frontier Defense, with Exoplanet, where the sun flares are almost as bad as a Battlefield game, Dry Dock, where the corridors are tighter than a nun's vagina, and Angel City, because everyone should be sick of this map by now. There are two new game modes, both of which are based on the Aegis rank for Titans that you get from playing Frontier Defense in Aegis Titan Brawl and Aegis Last Titan Standing, where your Titan upgrades can be used in these modes, so now you can feel how the AI does with all that cheese. There's also a new execution for those a-holes that use A-walls, but we were so lazy that we just put a wall in front of the normal execution, kind of like what Trump idiotically wants to do with Mexico. Lastly, in new content, there's a bunch of free banners that were both drawn in-house for people's dogs apparently, and done by people in the community, because the less work that we have to do, the better off everyone is, right? There's also another round of purchasable elite weapon war paints that will give extra XP that are $5 each, or $25 for the pack of 8, basically giving you 3 of them for free. What a deal. We kind of showed them off here in the trailer, but some of the shots are at such a wide angle that you can't even see the skins, so I'll flash them on screen. This way you can get the crisp detail for the overpriced items that we're asking for. First, the Thunderbolt 8-bit, that is a misnomer, as this is more of a cartoon than a pixelated mess. Spitfire Lead Farmer, which is basically the camo form of Spray and Pray. Speaking of which, the Devotion gets an RSPN custom, a play on the red colors of ESPN. The Hemlock Moki, because only weeaboo losers use this gun, and because we were too lazy to come up with brand new skins for the remaining 4, we reused the masterwork from the G2 on the Kraber, the Crimson Fury from the car on the Mozambique, Frontier Patriot from the alternator on the R201, even though that gun already had a skin from the last pack, and Purple Fade from the Flatline on the R97 with a slightly different color. Now onto the actual fixes again. We really didn't do too much for the normal multiplayer part of the game, but we did add Frontier Defense into private match settings, along with adding the difficulty and chat box to the Titan selection screen before hopping into a match, so that this way you could try to coordinate with that fuck nugget that always runs off on his own, getting his Titan killed while the Harvester is being destroyed. We buffed the amped battery to bring Titans out of doom state when applied, fixed some cases where stalkers wouldn't keep their namesake and get to unreachable areas of the map instead of creeping up on you like a TLC song, and for those of you that got annoyed to fuck with the ticks in the Wargames map, we've reduced the radius for them jumping on your pilot drop zone and when the drop pods land on the ground. Also, the cloak drones now finally do their job, as like John Cena, you can no longer see the weak spots on enemy Reapers and Titans. We also did some Titan balance just for the Frontier Defense game mode, and Legion getting a nerf to the long-range power shot that would accidentally do damage twice. Ion gets a new laser shot upgrade, Monarch gets a buff with the chain gun critical damage, and Tone gets a buff with the sonar pulse duration. Since the last update, when Titanfall 2 was finally put in EA and Origin access, we've seen the community grow by nearly 50%, which I guess is what happens when people get good deals on shit for cheap. Speaking of which, we're bringing out an Ultimate Edition similar to what DICE did with the Battlefield 1 Revolution Edition for people that missed out on our game from the first time around when EA fucked us with the launch date and Mom's credit card was melting from all of the game purchases. Anyways, now available for $40, you get the base game plus all the DLCs, which are always free, but you do get tons of stuff to play dress up with in an FPS, including Scorch and Ion Prime Titans, Deluxe Warpaint and Nose Arts for 6 Titans, and a special camo and call sign to indicate that you are late to the party, along with the Underground R201 Elite Warpaint that I mentioned earlier. You also get a Jump Start pack that will unlock all Titans and Pilot Tacticals, as if leveling up is that difficult in this game, along with 10 double XP tokens and 500 credits to blow your wad on gear and weapons. Hopefully this will get those Luddites playing other shittier FPS games to test their skills on the Frontier, and then get frustrated when we keep bringing shit from the previous game into the new one to make it seem like we didn't get it right the second time around.